Is the founder of the Biscayne Gardens Chamber and the founder of the Good Dads Act Committee, too. He joins us to share his story on fatherhood and how he fought to protect his rights as a father to his son. Please welcome to the show Dr. Bernard W.H. Jennings. Doctor, welcome.
Thank you, Dr. Lee. I'm so happy to be here with you today.
Yeah, we heard a whole lot about you and your story, but for our audience, we got to get you to explain it. Now, give us a little background, Dr. Jennings.
Well, a few years ago, I was unmarried. I'm married now, but I was unmarried at the time, and I have a son. His name is Ethan. And one day, he and his mother and I broke up, and we both took care of him on and off. I had weekends, and she had weekdays. And sometime in the summer of 2022, I decided I was going to marry somebody else, and all hell broke loose. She got upset at that and decided that she wasn't going to co-parent with me anymore, and she demanded, that I did not have time with my son. She held my son away for about a month, and I couldn't find my son. I went to pick him up from school one day, and they said that he was withdrawn from school and moved away to another county, and they didn't know where he was going to be taken. I was devastated because I was so connected to my son. I was there since birth. I was able to get a hearing before a Miami-Dade County judge. I'm here in the state of Florida. And during that hearing, the judge said that, Mr. Jennings, you're on the birth certificate, but Florida law says that although you're on the birth certificate, you have a DNA test that shows that you're 99.9991 can't be excluded as the father. You don't have any rights in the state of Florida. You are the father, presumably, but the judge has to declare you the father through a process called establishment of paternity. And that's the same in all 50 states of the country.
Yeah.
And it just means that you have a financial responsibility for the child. You actually come back after a full trial and then request visitation. If you don't have a good relationship with the mother and she doesn't want you to have visitation, there's a lot of obstacles they put up. They file domestic violence charges against you. It happens to many dads. That happened to me. I got off that Zoom call. I was devastated. I didn't know what to do, and then I decided to myself, you know what? I'm gonna write a proposal to the state legislature to change the law because this is not right. We did that. 8 months later, the law changed in the state of Florida. It's House Bill 775. It was coined Ethan's Good Dad Act. The legal name is Parental Responsibility After the Determination of Paternity. And it says that when a dad steps up and he's already on the birth certificate, he's signed the acknowledgement of parenting in the hospital. That means him and the mother got along at some point. They had that baby. He now has the same rights and responsibilities the mother has as if he was married, although he's not. In other words, he has equal opportunity to be participatory in the religion, in education, in social upbringing of the child. And if he lives within 50 miles of that child, he's entitled to 50-50 visitation with a rebuttable presumption from the mother. So he no longer has to prove that he's a good dad. She has to prove he's a bad dad. It's a higher burden of proof for her. And usually the case is he may not be a good boyfriend, but he's a good dad.
Yeah, that's great. So how does that make you feel that you came up with you had to go through all of this to come up with a bill?
Wow, I never thought it possible.
You're a good father and you deserve the rights that everybody else deserves to see their child.
During the time, it was a lot of anguish in those 8 months fighting through the court system. I was representing myself in court. 6 months after the law passed, the judge actually awarded me 50-50 time sharing with my son. And it's I've got him every Friday to Friday, every week, once Friday, and then switches to the mother. And it's been a pleasure. My son has improved in school now. He's in a gifted program in his school. He's doing better in math. He's got better self-confidence. He's a good public speaker, and he's doing really good. And it just shows that, a father's participation in their child's life, whether it's a boy or girl, is going to make a big difference. Since that time, I've had meetings online with fathers all over the country every Tuesday night at 8 o'clock. Matter of fact, tomorrow night is our 100th meeting since the law passed. It's the Ethan's Good Dad Act Committee. We've appointed dads through 16 other states now. And since that time, I'm happy to report, Bob, that we've passed a law in Missouri, New Jersey, Tennessee, and North Carolina. They go into effect in July 1 of this year.
Yeah. How does that work now? Because sometimes Florida's laws are sort of complicated or a lot different from all the other states.
Yeah, so what it was, after the law passed in Florida, I created this group online through a Google Meet, and then through press releases, fathers have come to me with the same issues. I realized there's so many fathers throughout the country with the same problem. So I've appointed team leaders in different states. We take the same piece of legislation that we filed in the state of Florida. We add that father's name in that state, and we seek out their state representative and their state senator and ask them to sponsor the bill. And then we help them walk it through. Some states
You had to tweak it just a little bit,
just tweak for the
to
state.
be in line with their state.
Correct, correct. And then some states now, it's sort of like a fever. They're doing it on their own. So you'll notice that in Kentucky and Iowa, they actually have an issue of putting it through. We have a dad in Arizona named Kasasi Swan. It failed the first year, but we're going to push it through and keep trying until we get it done. We're going to try to do all 50 states.
Now, Doctor, in all of these talks, does anything stand out to you that resembles a lot of the stuff that you have gone through?
It's a weird thing. You know, if we had a hat and passed the hat around the room, it's the same story with a different dad under the hat. Boy meets girl, they fall in love, or they have a great relationship, and then they break up, and then they either have a baby during the relationship or they realize afterwards. And then, you know, sometimes folks get bitter because they don't get what they want, and they say, okay, I'm going to hurt the dad, but they don't realize they're hurting the child more than they're hurting the dad by keeping them away from the dad. And it's not right. I actually wrote a book about it called Ethan's Good Dad Act. It's #1 on Amazon in child advocacy and divorce and family law. You can get it on Amazon or Target.com or Walmart or anywhere good books are sold. It's a good book. It's been endorsed by Dr. Les Brown as well as Brian Tracy, who are renowned public motivational speakers. And it tells the story of my story as well as many of the other dads that have been part of this journey for the last year now. We've had these meetings every year, every month, every Tuesday online. We have these meetings where dads come together and give each other self-help. We'll bring different attorneys on. We'll bring different judges on or different practitioners to help the dads understand how to navigate the court system to maintain access to their children.
Yeah, and of course you'll get some opposition from mothers, but you'll have a good deal of mothers who'd like to join you because some of them are sharing some of that same experience.
Let me tell you, on this meeting that we usually have about 25 to 30 fathers on the program on every Tuesday, but then we'll have some mothers, some sisters, some grandmothers, because when the child is separated from the dad, they miss out on the grandparent from the other side of the family.